Welcome, it's London Man. In this segment, we will be covering Tiamat, the serpent seed, and four corners of the world. Let's go. We are back again with another thought-provoking upload. For those of you who saw the Baal segment, hope you enjoyed that one. The godfather of Crater Earth, God-Give Lemsdeb, also did a Baal segment. Just like London Man, we both covered the upper room, which would be the head or the brain. And last but not least, we both covered the celestial beings being birthed from Earth itself. But since then, God-Give Lemsdeb's videos has been removed or taken down from YouTube for violation reasons. I don't want to get too much into that. I want to keep it on the good topics that we're both covering. Let's go.
This footage was created from those images and reveals in just a few minutes what Huygens saw during its 2 hours and 27-minute journey through the thick smog-like haze.
Second time around, I know everybody missed this the first time, including myself. Do not let the CGI throw you off track. As we approach the Red Dragon, pay close attention. Take a look at Baal or Bel. They are showing us our realm in plain sight. He is right beside the Red Dragon. You see, there he is. The more I studied this image, the more it began to look like one of the oldest stories of creation known to mankind, which involved war and the slaying of the goddess Tiamat. If this image is what I really think it is, and the person to the left is doing the exact same pose that Baal was doing, maybe it's not Baal, but a warrior who lost their life during the great slaying of Tiamat, whose body was used to create the realm we live in. Let's take a look.
In the beginning, there was an enormous egg containing chaos. On the inside, the chaos raged on and on. Both yin and yang were mixed together. All the opposites were writhing together, male and female, cold and hot, wet and dry, dark and light. Finally, the egg burst open, and out leapt the giant dragon Pangu. Yin and yang swirled around him, and he pushed the two shell halves apart. Thus the opposites were. Every day for 18,000 years, Pangu grew 10 feet. Thus the sky was raised a little higher every day. Once the sky was 30,000 miles above the ground, Pangu stopped and began to hammer out the mountains and fill the valley with water to form great oceans. He created rivers with his fingers and stamped the earth down to create flat lands. He gathered raw light and tossed them into the sky to become stars. After 18,000 years, Pangu had grown old and tired. He had made the world with his hands and formed the basic principles of yin and yang. He wanted to lay down and sleep forever. Once he lay down, he never rose again. When Pangu died, his body formed huge mountains. His skull formed the top of the sky. His hair formed all flowers and plants. His bones turned to jade and pearl, and his arms and legs the 4 directions. His blood became the rivers. His breath turned into the wind, and his voice to thunder. One eye became the sun, and the other the moon. For many years the world was a very beautiful place, but also lonely. There were no people.
Let's see if we can locate anything that represents a great serpent egg or dragon. Let's go.
In the beginning, there was an enormous egg containing chaos.
What is that in the distance? Who or what are they paying homage to with all these serpent eggs, and why is it in Belgium? Belgium. Let's go.
In the beginning, there was an enormous egg containing chaos. In the beginning, there was an enormous egg containing chaos. In the beginning, there was an enormous egg containing chaos.
This Sumerian depiction shows one of the oldest stories known to man, which involved the slaying of the serpent goddess Tiamat, whose body was used to create the world, or at least part of it. Let's use the old Herodotus maps and NASA blue marble to make some cross references. Let's go. Ancient Herodotus maps meets Sumerian maps. Sumerian depiction meets the globe.
When Pangu died, his body formed huge mountains. His skull formed the top of the sky.
Well, hopefully this segment explains it all. The slaying of Tiamat brought forth the waters and life. If you've been following London and his journey trying to understand the nature of this realm, my hypothesis is pointing to Skull Earth. But take a look at the maps of 1457. They kind of resemble an eye. Could the story of Moses have been the migration from the eye to the head? This could explain the change of the maps from eye maps to skull maps. Let's go. And here we have Aluma Tommy's favorite globe. Next we have research from London Man, Globe Eye. I will use correct terminology so you can see my truth. Let's go.
There are two important foramina, or windows, two important fissures, or grooves, and one canal surrounding the globe in the orbit.
Whenever I hear of the globe, I think of space, NASA. I would have never thought the globe and our eyes are very homogeneous. Very wild.
The eyeball is a bilateral and spherical organ which houses the structures responsible for vision. It lies in a bony cavity within the facial skeleton, known as the bony orbit.
Wow, bony orbit sounds a lot like space orbit. Could I really be onto something here? Interesting. Take a look at this diagram of the human skull and eye. It is labelled globe and orbit. My calculations are correct, and this is the case, then we can expect to find some more similarities with our galaxies and the eyes. Let's take a look.
Eye-catching, incredible pictures that for the first time reveal the human eye in all its glory.
Now when I think of the Milky Way, this brings a whole new perspective. I hope you guys are paying attention out there. Let's go. Milky Way. And there you have it, the Milky Way. Absolutely mind blown is all I can say. My theory is looking more true and solid. One more connection is all we need to make. Let's head over to the Holy Book, aka Bible, and the Holy AI Book, and make some more cross references. Let's put this nail in the coffin. Let's go.
Four corners of the world. Several cosmological and mythological systems portray four corners of the world, or 4 quarters of the world, corresponding approximately to the 4 points of the compass, or the 2 solstices and 2 equinoxes. At the center may lie a sacred mountain, garden, world tree, or other beginning point of creation. Often 4 rivers run to the 4 corners of the world, and water or irrigate the 4 quadrants of Earth.
If there is 4 corners of the world, just like the Holy Bible says, then maybe the eye has 4 corners. Let's take a look.
The orbits are conical or 4-sided pyramidal cavities, which open into the midline of the face and point back into the head. Each consists of a base, an apex, and 4 walls. 4.
The 4 corners is starting to make a lot of sense to me now. Maybe if there is 4 corners, could we have 4 different species, just like Earth? If so, my theory is coming more solid and correct. Let's take a look. Now it would make sense why the globe has 4 corners, because the eye has 4 corners and 4 different species. Very interesting. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you was entertained. Till next time, lay low, look after yourself. Love over war. London.